If you need healing, if you need wholeness, if you need God to touch these places that have been shattered in your heart from trauma in your past, trauma as a childhood, adolescent, early adult years, wherever this place meets you, we all in life have this thing called trauma. We've been wounded by people that we love, people that have taken advantage of us, situations. These things take place in every one of our stories. But if this is something that we need, I've got some good news for us today. We're going to be looking in Hebrews chapter 12. We're going to be looking at healing or being whole or pursuing holiness and what this does in our life, what this does as it releases, and what benefit it brings to our life and journey and story. Without further ado, welcome back to Love Note. We are so grateful to be here on this team, this Love Note team with you guys as we journey through life storms together. That's right. I said together. We don't have to be alone anymore. God's not asking you to live in isolation. He's not asking you to stay in that prison to where you're just constantly feeling like you're never going to get your head above water. You're never going to get a break in life. It feels like you're always getting passed up in the promotion. I don't know if I'm preaching to anybody today, but if this is how you feel, I want you to understand this is called life. And what Greasy Grace does is it tells us that if we get saved, we're going to have this perfect existence. We're not going to get hurt anymore. Our heart's not going to get broken. We're just going to have this amazing life. And it's just not reality. Now, we are going to have this amazing life, but it's going to be because of the working of the gospel from the inside out. It's going to be the gospel rewriting truths or lies that have been ushered to us from the world, from the inside out in our heart. And these are the truths that say we're entitled to this or we deserve this. And when we understand as Christians that we don't deserve anything, we deserve nothing short of eternal separation and damnation. That's what we deserve in the sinful nature. We were born this way, but God is trying to tell us that I sent my son to die and to live again and to invite you into life abundant. It's called the gospel. He came and he was perfect for you so that he could accredit this perfection to you so that you could pursue holiness or so that you could be healed and become a whole person. And then whenever we understand that by Calvary's cross, by the running of the blood of the Lamb, we've been healed once and for all positionally, we then start learning how to relationally walk this thing out on a daily basis. It's a journey and it's a process. There's going to be some seasons where we're killing it more than others, and that's okay. We all go through them. But nonetheless, as long as we can stay rooted in our identity in Christ, in the prayer closet, in the place of intimacy, in the new garden, the new covenant Garden of Eden, where we've been welcomed back into the eastern gate by the opened veil of Christ's side. We've been instituted back as the bride of Christ, the Eve, just like the first one was taken out of the rib of Adam. So we too, as the Spirit went through his rib. Come on, somebody put that in the chat. We were taken from the rib of Christ. We were birthed in the Spirit, the rebirth, being born again. And now because of it, I am healed. And now I learn how to walk in it more day in and day out, because I understand that I'm never going to be able to do it in my own strength and ability. And that does a really beautiful thing. It releases me to rely on his strength and ability to do it for me. And then when this takes place, we start receiving relational healing. We start pursuing wholesome living or being a whole person because we're walking in healing. And now I'm pursuing holiness. And with this passage right here, we've been looking at this week in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14, it's going to show us that whenever we pursue holiness, when we have holiness in our life, because of what he's done, because of him, it's going to actually release this scene of God or this encounter of God in our life. So let's read this together real quickly here today. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14. And the word of the Lord reads like this. It says, pursue peace with all people. So I'm not holding these personal grudges. I'm not carrying around my hurts and my hangups. I'm not carrying around grudges and offenses. I'm pursuing peace. So my heart is pure. I'm pursuing to be at peace with everybody. I'm pursuing holiness. It says right here, and holiness. So I'm pursuing whole living. I'm pursuing a lifestyle where there is no active compromise in my life. I'm not actively choosing to sin daily. And I do want to hit a quick pause on that. That doesn't mean that I get saved in that instant. I go home and I evaluate everything in my life based off of the good and the bad, or the sin and the not sin. And I start throwing everything away. I start doing all these things. Now, eventually, is the relationship of God, as it grows in our life, is it going to bring us to these places where we're not desiring those things anymore? And we're going to be throwing them away. We're going to be getting rid of relationships that aren't quite healthy or helping us heal anymore. Or we're going to be moving away from settings and scenes that are not productive for our future, that we're going to be making sacrifices. No, that's exactly what it's going to do, but it's going to do that out of a response to our relationship. Because what we do is we get this touch of God and then we go home and now I'm trying to be holy all in my own strength again. I'm trying to save myself in my abilities and wisdom all over again. And what this is self-salvation. I'm now negating the cross. I'm putting Jesus right back up on the cross and I'm saying what you did on Calvary didn't finish and complete it. I need more. I need to go back to saving self again. And now I'm back in a prison. But whenever we can understand and tap into the finished work of Calvary's cross, we can understand that he's already performed every act and deed that needs to be done in our heart to be healed. Now we can tap into that healing, which releases holy living. And now the encounter of God is walking and touching and breathing in our daily basis, our daily life and journey. And this is what we're going to be bringing into our next conversation. So until then, y'all be blessed.